Hey everybody, Aaron Bishop here with another Bishop's Blurb. One of the features of the suzerain-vassal treaty that we looked at in the last video was the witnesses that were called to the signing of the treaty. Now in the case of Deuteronomy, the witnesses that are called are heaven and earth. Deuteronomy chapter 30 verse 19, I call heaven and earth as witnesses against you today, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and curse. Therefore choose life, that you and your offspring may live. This is a sentiment that we read of previously in Deuteronomy 4 verse 26. We then read it again later in the next two chapters in Deuteronomy 31:28. And heaven and earth are called to pay attention in Deuteronomy 32, the Song of Moses, in the very first lines. And at first this might seem as if it's just some sort of poetic metaphor or symbolic description. But when we really consider it, we discover that heaven and earth, they're actually called upon throughout Scripture to act as witnesses. In Genesis 1:1, it begins with, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And then later, this is how the Bible ends, Revelation 21 verse 1. Then I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away. The entire Bible is surrounded by these witnesses. And if we dig in deeper, we find even Jesus called on these witnesses in his ministry. Matthew 5:18, for truly I tell you that until heaven and earth pass away, not an iota or a dot will pass from the law until all is accomplished. Now this process of witnessing, it has several different aspects to it. And we find throughout Scripture that heaven and earth actually fit every single aspect of witness in Israel. The first idea is that heaven and earth, they witness to man about the existence and the glory of God. Isaiah 44:23, sing, O heavens, for the Lord has done it. Shout, O depths of the earth. Break into singing, O mountains, O forest, and every tree in it. For the Lord has redeemed Jacob, and he will be glorified in Israel. Or Romans 1 verse 20, for his invisible attributes, namely his eternal power and divine nature, have been clearly perceived ever since the creation of the world in these things that have been made, so they are without excuse. Second, the heaven and the earth, they witness the deeds done by man on the earth. Isaiah 1:2, hear, O heaven, and give ear, O earth, for the Lord has spoken. Children have I reared and brought up, but they have rebelled against me. Or Deuteronomy 4 verse 26, I call heaven and earth to witness against you today, that you will soon utterly perish from the land you are going over the Jordan to possess. You will not live long in it, but you will be utterly destroyed. Third, the heaven and the earth, they're to act witnesses of the good that's done in the earth, and then they are to act to reward those good things. Isaiah 45:8, shower, O heavens, from above, and let the clouds rain down righteousness. Let the earth open, that salvation and righteousness may bear fruit. Let the earth cause them both to sprout. I, the Lord, have created it. Finally, as we read in Deuteronomy 17 verse 7, it is the hands of those who witness a crime that were to be the first to enact capital punishment when it was necessary. So too we find that when God speaks of judgment, it always begins in the heavens and on the earth. A few examples. Joel chapter 2 verse 30 through 31. And I will show wonders in the heavens and on the earth, blood and fire and columns of smoke. And the sun shall be turned to darkness and the moon to blood before the great and awesome day of the Lord comes. Or Luke 21 verse 11. There will be great earthquakes in various places, famines and pestilence, and there will be terrors and great signs from the heavens. So what does this mean to me or to you? Well, when we read of the heavens and the earth being called on in the Bible, being referenced, we need to recognize that the Bible itself treats their role as witnesses as more than simply metaphors. This means that they are witnesses of everything we do. And so when we encounter this in Scripture, we need to treat the passages that involve the heaven and the earth very seriously.